Day 15. I'm here for another devotion, another time where we're just sharing a little bit more about what's going on in different spaces around the church. As I was coming out and preparing this morning, one of the things I was reminded about that I did not show earlier last week when I was talking about the columbarium and other spaces, I was recognizing and remembering this cornerstone that's over here when we talked about the fellowship hall that was established in 1987. So I want to show you this cornerstone that's over there right next to the columbarium, Thrasher Memorial United Methodist Church, Fellowship Hall, 1987. So I'm grateful for that space. So you can see, again, things that we quite often overlook when we are here on a regular basis. So this day, I want to share with you a little bit about preschool. So our preschool has been in existence for over 50 years, I think coming close to 60 years. And it has been a joy in that time to connect with many, many people, many families, many kids. And they have just finished their fall session or their fall spring session. They'll be starting their summer session coming up in 2 weeks, so they'll take a break with kids. But our preschoolers are out, and most of our preschool teachers are out right now as well, but some of them are still cleaning. So you may see some of them as they are doing some of the work that's going on in there. So I'm going to head in that direction as we check out our preschool and just recognize some of the difference in some of the spaces you're walking in this direction. What we call this it's one of the entrances right behind me is the entrance of the sanctuary, and I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden what we typically call this. We typically call this the circle, as you see right outside the columbarium and the picnic shelter. And as you're coming in this area, you'll see this is the entrance to our preschool. So we're going inside. And you'll see a lot of cleaning spaces, a lot of things that have taken place. There are some wonderful things that happen for all of our preschool teachers, our staff, and the difference that they make. Here is one of the classrooms. As you can see, they've been working hard getting things established and set up and cleaned up. As you walk down the hall, you can see another space in here where they have a whole lot of storage, different things to take place and getting going on here. Going down the hallway, and here's another room in this way. Again, they've done a lot of cleaning in this space, getting ready for their summer session. Here's one of our preschool teachers in here, working hard. There's Crystal and her husband plugging away at stuff, getting things cleaned up and all that kind of good thing. We're moving on. And you can see right down the hallway, there's more rooms where we had talked about the Wesley class. We were just in there the other day. That is right down the hallway. The Wesley classroom is what we call it. And then if you go down this other side of the hallway, this is the hallway that goes toward the coffee house and then toward the chapel. And so in many ways, these are some of the connecting pieces from the older space from the 1900s, early 1900s, when we talked about the chapel being built. The first worship service was in 1919. This space got built later on, and you can see as the newer space, as we were talking about, 1987 was the fellowship hall, and that's a little bit beyond on the other side, pointing in this direction. So we're grateful again for all of our preschoolers. We're grateful for all of our staff and the difference that they make and the families that are so involved. From my understanding, there were over 35 students that were involved in this fall and this spring, and we're grateful for that. And there's not quite as many that take place during the summer, but they are full up for the summer, and they have full up for the next fall as well, next school year. And so what a joy it is for that. But if you're still interested to plug into the preschool in some way, somehow, certainly talk to Erin Edmondson, our preschool director, and she will get you on the waiting list, or some other ways that we can plug in. And we are grateful for the ways, again, our congregation as a whole is working forward to getting more connected with the preschool, doing more things, getting more involved with each other. Definitely a joy to have that connection and to have these families that are here, these young families that we can support and encourage, and we are blessed to have this space. Blessings to you on your weekend. Remind you about this weekend, Adam Souter, Reverend Dr. Adam Souter will be preaching for us. So thankful for that. And I want to lift up his time as he is preparing, and for all the others who are helping to lead worship this weekend on the 17th as we begin this new sermon series on the good and beautiful community, James Bryan Smith's book.